Alright guys, so this laptop right here is the slowest PC and laptop possible that can run Windows 11, alright? Let me go ahead and show you, but first off, let's go and roll that intro, shall we? Alright guys, so here we have the laptop, alright? Let me just, so the reason why I just bumped it is because the phone stand is actually right next to the laptop, because this laptop screen is just so small. It's the same size as the EPC. It is a 10 point, it's just a 10 point, I think it's just a 10 inch. Alright, but anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about more about this laptop, alright? So you can see here, this is a Lenovo S10-3, alright? Which means that this has a CPU that can run Windows 11, alright? Let's go ahead and show what CPU that is, alright? So, loading Task Manager would actually take too long, and I would run out of storage on my phone. So, I've already preloaded Core Temp here, because, I just wanted to show you this, alright? So, as you can see here, we have our mobile Atom, our Intel Atom N55. Now, I know what you're going to say, okay? This isn't the Atom N450. You're a liar! Well, I'm only partially a liar, alright? You see here, there is no difference from the N455 and the N450, other than that it supports DDR3. That's it. Literally it. Alright, Google it. But, and actually some instances say that this actually is slightly slower because, well, the manufacturers just downclock it a little more for some reason. Alright, but anyways, it doesn't really matter because this is using DDR2 still. Because, yeah, Lenovo is like, screw you, we don't care. Alright, but anyways, so, let's go and talk more. As you can see here, the CPU is put at 100% load. And also, this is, if you're asking why the windows are like square, okay, there you go, just fix this up. But as you can see here, we have graphics drivers, alright? Now, yes, this netbook does actually come with graphics drivers for Windows 11. Kind of crazy. But it's actually Windows 7 drivers that just work with Windows 11. Oh, and also another thing. If I go ahead and flip to the back here, it says... there's a little logo on here that says like the U.S. San Diego Unified School Department, which is honestly hilarious considering I am nowhere near San Diego. Like, what the heck? Like, look, okay, so a friend gave this to me, alright? I traded him about 2 sticks of DDR4 for it, which is worth quite a bit, actually, considering that actually, no. I traded 4 8GB sticks of DDR4, which is actually worth quite a bit much more than this netbook. So yeah, anyways, let's go and minimize it because it uses very little CPU cycles. But yeah, the reason why I didn't show Task Manager is because, let me go and show you how long it takes, alright, for Task Manager to load. And actually, that context may open up rather quickly. I think it's because it cached it. Alright, let's go ahead and wait for it to load in here. Task Manager. Yeah, as you can see here, it is quite slow. Alright, there it is. You gotta let it rev up here. Because as you can see here, it's not actually displaying any info yet. Oh, there you go. Almost. This is actually faster than how it normally opens because it's cached the Task Manager app onto memory. If it was loading it from disk, like for example, if it was booting it up, then yeah. Windows Update. I spent two weeks waiting for this to update. I'm not even joking. The reason why I didn't show the installation process, and which is why it says installing Windows 11, even though I'm actually using it, the reason why I didn't show the installation process is because there's not enough storage on my phone possible, okay? Like, even if I deleted all of my apps and everything else, there's still not enough storage because it took 2 weeks of just leaving this thing on for it to go through the Windows setup, alright? For it to copy the files on there, that took about a day. Then the rest of the days, it was just spent updating and, going through the OSD, which honestly, I should have just pressed on the option that said I have no internet. But yeah, as you can see here, if we go over to performance, yeah, this isn't great. In fact, this little thing right here, that's probably a glitch because this CPU constantly is floored to the max. Holy crap, did it actually drop usage? Oh, it's dropping usage. That's shocking. Considering there's also Windows Update running in the background, that's honestly kind of crazy. But anyways, if you want to know relative performance, you know that Pentium 4, right? Link to the video right here. But you know that Pentium 4, right? Which is the oldest PC possible that can run Windows 11? That scored 3 times the CPU Z-score than this little crappy piece of thing. This little piece of whatever, alright? So yeah, honestly kind of hilarious. And also the memory, as you can see here, this is the maximum memory that this CPU will let you have. 2 gigabytes of DDR2. running at 667 megahertz. Now, yes, it does support DDR3, but Lenovo's too cheap. But as you can see here, it's caching a lot of its memory onto storage here. And also, for those of you saying, you don't have drivers, it's going to slow everything. No, there are drivers installed. I can confirm, alright? If I open up GPU-Z here, but that's going to take way too long, alright? But yeah, let's go ahead and run a CPU-Z benchmark, alright? It's going to probably take quite a while, so I'm going to have to think of a bunch of like features and commentate on here while it loads in CPU-Z, because it does genuinely take quite a bit. But yeah, actually on video, this is doing much better than it is. Probably because I never actually shut this thing down. What I've been doing is I've been sleeping in, okay? Because yeah. So yeah, this thing is hilariously slow. Honestly, this thing does not deserve to run Windows 11. Also, if you can see here why MSI Afterburner is missing, it's because it refused to install. Okay, it's not quick enough. Oh, also the screen is so small that the little windows just sort of break down. It's kind of hilarious. But let's go ahead and run a stress test, all right? And just look at the hilarious performance, all right? And 3, 2, 1, go! You see that? That's 33 CPU-Z points. It's actually decreasing now. But as you can see here, this little thing is just a piece of crap, okay? Now, I have seen 40 before without without, you know, like the updates running because I turned off the internet. Yeah, this thing constantly updates, okay? It's because you see here, it takes so long to update this that by the time it's finished updating, a new security update has been rolled out, and so it's just constantly updating until eventually 2032 is already gone. But the problem is that once this thing sees a new update, it just updates it again, okay? It's just an infinite cycle of updates. But as you can see here, why does it say it's DDR3? What? Okay, hang on a second. So CPU-Z says it's DDR3, but oh yeah, I love how it's like broken. Oh, there it is. But Task Manager says it's DDR2. Okay, I have no clue if this thing is using DDR3 or DDR2 anymore. Actually, we can figure that out, alright? But as you can see here, it's running off of PCIe 1. It's the Atom host bridge, so, you know, it's really quick. And I think this was the manufacture date. It's really, really old. Yeah, but it's about as old as like the Pavilion G6. Actually, more like the G56. G6 was born like I think it was like early 2011. So yeah, as you can see here, we have our 1 core and 2 threads. So yeah, power. All right, let's close it. All right, so let me go ahead and just shut it down here. Oh, there it is. It's probably gonna ask me to update. Yeah, we don't want to do that right now. We're just gonna hold it down here. Oh, we have to black that out. All right, so let's go ahead and see what RAM this is using, alright? It's probably going to take up most of the video. Oh yeah, and also the battery does work, but it's like really sketch. So yeah, as you can see here, yeah, it's not doing too great, especially the back cover. It's like really scratchy and stuff. But if you want to know, here it is. The Lenovo IdeaPad S10. I have no clue what this is. I think it's useless though, because it doesn't really matter. It's probably whatever school that's belonged to this. If I dox whatever school that this had before, I don't really care. Oh, actually, it's manufactured in 2011. As you can see right there, 2011. So yeah, that means that this probably would have come with Windows 7 and not Windows XP. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and move the camera back out here. Let's go ahead and tear this thing apart, shall we? Alright, I am back here with a screwdriver, specifically the Radio Shack screwdriver. So let's go ahead and tear this thing apart. Should be really quickly, considering, you know, it's just a single panel, man. So look here, in terms of older computers obviously, you know, because they have panels for everything. If you want to upgrade like the memory or the storage, it's easy and quick, alright? If you want to swap out the battery, easy and quick. But if you want to like do something like change the thermal paste on a lot of laptops, well, a lot of old laptops, not all of them, but most of them, or you want to like change CMOS battery, good luck, alright? Because you're gonna have to tear the entire thing apart. Like I have a really interesting laptop. It's I think it's either 19-inch or 20-inch laptop. Yeah, let's just say that it took years to take that thing apart, alright? Let's go ahead and open it up and see what we have in here, alright? So, play that music. Oh, this freaking thing is stuck. Oh. Alright, here's our 500GB SSD. Yes, I have opened this thing up before, but I never really took a look at the memory, so yeah. I replaced this with a 500GB 860 EVO SSD, so yeah, it's still that slow, even with an SSD, which is kind of hilarious. Let's go and see what memory this is here. Let's see here. Let's take this thing apart. Memory, be gone. Give me my memory. Give me the memory. There you go. Alright, this doesn't say. Hang on a second, I'm gonna grab a DDR3 stick here and just compare. Alright, so I am back here. This is our reference PC3 stick here. If I go and peel this down, as you can see here, it is PC3, alright. So, let's go and compare. Oh, this netbook might actually be running off of DDR3 memory. That is interesting. Alright, so this netbook means that means that theoretically we could drop 8GB of RAM into this netbook, but obviously it isn't going to accept it. But, you know, still pretty cool, you know, even though it's running at DDR2 speeds, which I think that actually makes it slower than DDR2, because the latency, when you go up a DDR generation, I think the latency increases just by a tad, but the frequency increases a lot more. So if you get higher frequencies, then that means that you're going to get faster memory. But since this is running at DDR2 speeds, actually this is running at base DDR2 speeds, this is much slower than what even a DDR2 system could have. So yeah, this is worse. All right, let's go ahead and screw this thing down. Also, if you're wondering why I'm abusing this thing, it's because I hate this thing. It took so long to install Windows, man. I had to literally, like, I was like checking every day to see like how far it went. It was like day by day, it was going up by like 10 or 20% if I'm lucky. It's just hilarious. Yeah, this thing is a pain to use. I hate this piece of garbage. Come on. Alright, I think that actually just about concludes it though. So yeah, as you can see here, this thing runs Windows 11 like it's been on drugs or something. So yeah, not great at all. Yeah, I mean the battery does work, but it lasts like about 30 minutes. So yeah, this netbook, it is on death's door, but who knows? Oh, I gotta black that out again. Maybe if we, you know, install Windows 7 to it, it would be much more reasonable. Yeah, as you can see, your battery does work if I go and enter the BIOS. So yeah, I will obviously do, you know, like install Windows 7 on this, do like a full in-depth video of, you know, like testing everything out. Actually, I wonder. So the GMA 950 wasn't able to start BeamNG. I wonder if this thing can, because it might have slightly newer drivers. Also, this thing isn't starting up. What? Run. Alright, so guys, I may have accidentally bricked the netbook here. You see what I did there when I did the brick netbook, like with the asterisk thing? Apparently, there's two buttons to the right side laptop that enable Quick Start, which is a feature that Lenovo added that boots into a Linux environment, and it's kind of like Chrome OS, and basically all it does is just allows you to go onto the web, and it allows it to turn on quicker. So yeah, basically, apparently, since this isn't the original SSD, the computer just got confused by that and bricked itself. So now I have to reflash the entire BIOS just to get it to work again. Yay, Lenovo. Anyways, I'm probably not going to be able to buy a BIOS flasher or be able to flash it for a while. So yeah, this is going to be the last video on this for a while. But anyways, back with the video and me figuring out that it isn't turning on. So yeah. What? Okay, it's refusing to start up now, which is quite concerning. But whatever, alright? So yeah, as you can see here, this laptop, keyboard, it's alright. Honestly, the build quality of this laptop and the screen is pretty decent, so yeah. But look here, I will go ahead and do like more in-depth video. And, you know, like test the performance of this laptop, run some games on it. But obviously that will be done to Windows 7. As Windows 11, the CPU is just floored, okay? Now, the CPU isn't actually the worst thing that's ever lived, alright? So, because this is similar in performance to the N280, it's just that this supports full 64, which means that we can run Windows 7 64-bit on here, which means that we might have some better software support, alright? So, yeah, that's gonna be interesting, alright? Anyway, see you guys in the next video, alright? This definitely was an interesting one to make. I will be posting more video. Oh, I gotta black that out too. Crap, I'm such an idiot. But yeah, I will be posting more videos soon. Sorry guys for not posting pretty recently. It's just that I've had a pretty rough week. But hey guys, anyway, see you in the next video, alright? Remember to subscribe, alright? And also, see ya. Bye.